I think just, working on our experience, getting the younger guys in the playbook. We have a lot of young guys on our receiving corps, so I think the first thing we need to do is make sure they know what they're doing out there. We don't want to have any miscues out week one, so we just need to come out here in summer and make sure everything's good.
You mentioned that young receiving core. You do have Hansen back at least. Just how helpful is it just to have at least one returning face in that receiver core and get that timing down?
Yeah, Hansen's been great. I mean, last year he was probably one of my top targets, but we got some young guys too. Brady Rhodes going to be in my grade, a junior, and he's big. We got Jaden Van Pelt and Mason Boffman, some young freshmen, and then Griffin Steely too, a junior. So we got some guys, and that'll be good with Hansen. We got some size and Brady, we got some speed, and then we got David Milligan, a new guy that nobody knows about, and so we got it all. We got size, speed, and that experience that you talked about in Hansen. So we really have it all.
Heading into your junior season, of course, you were the guy last year. How much do you hope to build on last year and just get the game to slow down a little bit more in your junior season?
Yeah, definitely. Last year was sort of hectic. I didn't really know what was going on out there, and as the season went on, but this junior year, I think I really need to focus on, like you said, making things slow down and be more in the film room and understanding what defenses are doing and what we need to do to be better.
Knowing how last season went, just making it all the way to Lucas Oil Stadium, how can a year like that just elevate the standards for the program heading into this season?
Oh, yeah, it definitely elevates the standards. Coach Dinan always says that's the minimum now, and understanding that we can get there. Maybe before that, no one really believed in us being able to go to state. Now all the younger guys see that we've done it before. They can really believe in us and understand that we can do it.
I would just say that we just got to work and get the basics down first. I mean, we've already got the basics down, but we just need to roll into it more and focus on the little things to become as good as we want to be.
Well, Braden, knowing this is your senior season, how are you hoping to take charge of this team and be a leader on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, I just hope to, lead by example and show these youngins that anything is possible if you just put your mind to it.
Talking with Jimmy, he mentioned a lot of newer faces in the receiving corps this year. Who are some of the other folks you feel like can step up on that side of the ball?
On offense?
Yes.
I feel like, our linemen this year, we've got a big line, I feel like. And the youngins, the receivers, the freshman receivers from last year, they've stepped up majorly. And I feel like we're going to be really good on the offensive side this year.
How about defensively? Of course, you lose guys like Jorge, but you do have Ashton back in the defensive line. You'll be playing linebacker. Cam's back as well. How do you hope to set that tone, that physical tone on that side of the ball?
I just hope that we can teach the kids that are coming up this year to not have any fear while they hit hard or while they're making plays on defense. I just hope that they don't that nothing interferes with their head as they're doing it.
Well, knowing how last season went, of course, marching all the way to Lucas Oil Stadium, how does a year like that just elevate the standards for this program heading into this fall?
It just shows us that anything is possible and that if we put our minds to it, we really work as hard as we can, that you can do whatever you want.
And, of course, over the summer, you committed to Western Michigan. To have that decision out of the way, just how excited are you about that?
I'm really excited. It brings me a lot more comfortability so I can just focus on the team, focus on the season, and we can get to work.
Overall, what was it about that school, that program, that made it the right fit for you?
All the coaches, the facilities, and the school in general, I just loved, and everybody's nice there, and they make me feel loved and welcomed. So.
Only other question I have, just how do you hope to use your senior season to help get you ready for what's to come at Western Michigan?
I just hope that I work as I've been working, and hopefully I'll be ready to work as soon as I get there.
Definitely just want to knock some of the rust off coming back off of a week off. Definitely want to just get back into the flow of things, see how things are going since we picked up everything from the summer from last year. So just looking to get everything going in our direction before week one.
Talking with Jimmy, he mentioned there's going to be a lot of younger faces in the receiver room this year, but you're pretty much the guy they're going to be looking up to. How much pride do you take in that, just setting the example for these guys this season?
I definitely take a lot of pride in it. Showing these younger guys how our program works and everything is kind of plays a big role in my eyes. So, I think it's a good thing, and I think we're going to have a lot of success with it.
Working with a guy like Jimmy, the outstanding sophomore year he had, how do you hope to continue to build that chemistry heading into this season?
Jimmy's a great football player, as everybody knows, even better friend off the field than I am with him. So I think that builds a lot of chemistry on the field, being friends with him off the field. So I think we're going to have a great bond this year and hope to do things we did last year.
Looking at the offense, who do you feel like are some guys that are primed to have a huge year for Carroll?
Jake Wilson, our center, he's a big guy on the line for us. And then a lot of guys, receivers, young guys coming up, Jaden Van Pelt, Xander Pranger, Mason Boffman, Griffin Steely.
should be good guys for us.
Good deal. Only other question I've got, just looking at this team, this program, where you guys were last year, making it all the way to Lucas Oil Stadium. How do you hope to build on a year like that and continue to raise the expectations for this program?
I think last year was a really good year for us, and I think going into this year we have a big target on our back. I like to say we can look at it one of two ways, that we have a big target on our back or we have a lot of expectations. So I think for us, we're just going to look at it as we have bigger expectations for this year and this year's team, so I think we'll do a great job with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a carryover, obviously, from June and July. So most of our installation offensively and defensively has already been accomplished. And so now it is really setting depth charts, it's understanding scheme, it's building and starting to game plan, for week one. So a lot of what we're doing is in preparation for our first opponent.
You mentioned that install. Just offensively, how helpful is it having a guy like Jimmy who has been there, done that last year to help speed that process up on that side of the ball?
Yeah, hugely beneficial, that he already understands the offense. And again, June and July were great times for us to reinforce all of those installations on offense for him. But the same is, there's a lot of skill guys coming back on the offensive side and a lot of guys back on the defensive side. And so there is that comfort of reinstalling, scheme and stuff that we used last year. And so moving into August, we're optimistic, about everything, cautiously optimistic about everything as we begin the season.
You touched on that defense too, and we talked during media day. Guys like Ashton, guys like Cam, who were defensive veterans last year. How are you going to rely on them to set the tone on that side of the ball, especially considering the guys that you lost last year?
Yeah, hugely important. You lose great leadership from guys like Jorge Valdez. Was a great leader, and so guys like Ashton, Cam, Braden, those guys have to step up and have to be great leaders. And our best players have to be our hardest workers, and they have to set the tone every day in practice.
Only other question for me, Coach, just knowing how last season ended with you guys marching all the way to Lucas Oil Stadium, how does a year like that raise the expectations for this program going forward?
Yeah, the culture is high, and the culture of understanding is that we're going to demand a lot and we're going to perform at the highest level that we can at all times. But the senior leadership has to continue to push and push that envelope to the highest level that we can. We learn a lot from that, and our aspirations and our expectations are higher.